Hey, what's up guys? Thank you for tuning in here. Today's video, I'm going to be taking a look at the Transformers Earthrise Secret Elite 2-pack. This is Dirge and Ramjet. This pack was exclusive to Amazon. This was one of those selects or Earthrise exclusive packs there that people did kind of get screwed out of. So just like I said about my other exclusives that I reviewed, I do hope that they make those betterly available. I think it's really unfortunate that especially people who place some orders had them canceled on them. So, hi there. Sorry to interrupt your video, but there is something right here that I wanted to mention but totally forgot to. Usually I show the packaging that these figures come in, and I forgot for this one because I threw out the packaging months ago when I received these figures. But here is a picture of the packaging that I received from Amazon. So there is that. Thank you. Kind of reviewing these right now in a lull of not having Kingdom stuff and waiting for Thrust to come in for my pre-order. So with all that out of the way, let's go ahead and cover these guys. These are welcomed upgrades because I really like the Earthrise redo of the classic Seeker mold that they did for Starscream, Thundercracker, Skywarp, all that. And these guys fill that out really well. So it's very exciting. Again, the worst thing about these guys is the distribution. So we're going to go ahead and start with one of these guys. We're going to go ahead and start with Ramjet. Ramjet here does have a very striking color scheme. I love his colors. He's very simplistic but also very effective. He has this stark white all over his body as well as some really nice red that makes out the wings. So he's got just some fun accents on the side and back, but the main crux of his color is just this white and blackish gray. It's really fun. The Siege and Earthrise Seekers especially got out with some extremely greebly detail, and he did not miss out on any of that. So he does have some really nice detail. Some people think it's overdone. I think it's okay. Whoops. I think it's close to being overdone, but nothing that is super detrimental to the overall look of the figure. His head sculpt here is fairly average. It's just kind of like, but it's not as funny as Dirge's, which we will get to later. He does have these null rays, which are not like his G1 null rays, unfortunately, but hey, take what you get. Oh well, I'm sure that there's some non-F kit out there or something on Shapeways that can make that more G1 accurate. Ramjet's wings here that hang out on his legs, I kind of leave them pushed back a little bit just for shelf posability, but you can't have them straight out. So we'll go ahead and show him like that. And then if you are curious, here he is with the original Earthrise Seeker mold that he's based on in Starscream. So you can see some of the changes. He has more extreme kneecaps that go up higher with some different detail on them and everything. He's got obviously a different head, but the way the head still transforms is mostly the same with the cockpit back there. Different wings and everything, obviously. You can see how they size up with each other. It's pretty much a straight retool the way cone heads have always been, just a little bit more in the legs, which I appreciate. To get him with another counterpart of his. And before I introduce this, I have to apologize. This toy is in loved-in condition. It lived on a shelf for a very long time before I knew about, sun damage. But here he is with a Classics Ramjet. He is a bit yellowed. I apologize. Not too excited about showing this on camera, but I have it. I'll feel stupid if I don't compare them. So here is the original 2006 Classics Ramjet with the new Classics Ramjet, basically. This one, again, is not the hen case, so it doesn't have the nice paint, so it's kind of unfair. There is one that looks a lot better than this, especially yellow plastic aside. But yeah, this one obviously has a rub symbol. That would be fun, but oh well. So you can kind of see why especially Ramjet here was a really wanted upgrade for me, because this one was just kind of, he lived out a good life. Thank you, buddy. Ramjet and Dirge do share the same articulation because they are basically repaints of each other, so I'm going to go ahead and just leave Dirge in the shot. He's going to give Ramjet some moral support while we go ahead and do this bit here. So his articulation goes up and down on a ball joint. His head can rotate 360. He's also got hinges that go forward and backward this much. They can rotate 360, but they're always going to get blocked by the wing pieces on this mold. The hinges go in and out that much at the shoulder. Biceps rotate 360. The elbows get that much bend, and because of the transformation, you have a little bit of this wrist hinge right here, which I think is kind of fun. There's no waist because of the transformation. And the legs with this hip skirt here, if you move that up, they can go forward and backward that much. They can go in and outward that much. They can bend at the knee that much. Oh, and then this part here can kind of come out, but it pegs in. You're supposed to get that much knee. With this, you can get a little bit more by unplugging that. The feet here are on this nice transformation system, so you can get some nice pivot in the toes and in the heel, and then also you get this great inside pivot with this ankle. So these guys have some great range of posability, really good for seekers. It kind of helps against the real blocky nature of the original 06 Classics mold, which we've just really evolved from, and it kind of shows that how good that original mold Kind of goes to show how good the original mold was, because now here we are in 2020, you know, like 14 years later, and one of the best things they can do is kind of upscale it, update it with some new articulation, and it's brand new. And here we're going to take a look at Dirge, and he is basically everything you just saw, but in blue. Let's go ahead and compare him to his 2011 Classics counterpart from the Generations toy line, Dirge 2. So here you have a father and son. You can see how basically this mold has evolved over the years, how they took it and upgraded it into this big, beefy, articulated cake out of this pretty substantial brick. Now, don't get me wrong, I still like the brick, but it is a brick. This mold was designed in like 2006. It has seen its day. Its day is dead, but it has a worthy successor in my mind. So, sorry, son, but you gotta go. Dirge's detail is very fun because mainly the big difference between him and Ramjet, aside from the paint details, is this face sculpt, because he just has this really substantial pogger's face, and I think it's super goofy. He's basically just screaming the entire time. Dirge and Ramjet here do pretty much have the same transformation, so I'm not going to show both. I'm only going to do Dirge's on screen, and the only real difference is the sculpting in the bottom of the wings and these back parts here. So whatever I do here for Dirge, go ahead and copy paste it onto Ramjet. Use your imagination. We're going to use movie magic to get him transformed off screen, so let's go ahead and get converting. And here we have Dirge, and just like I said, movie magic, here we have Ramjet in their jet mode. So these guys look beautiful. It's a really nice, full-looking jet. I don't know the names of jets. I'm sorry. I am not a air enthusiast, unfortunately. So sorry about that, but here they are. The one thing I do want to show, if I can flip them the right way, my lord, is the guns here. So you can see right here, Dirge has them plugged into his sides, where Ramjet's I have in his wings. You can do either or. It's totally personal preference. So I just kind of wanted to show both of them, either or, with both type of configurations. So we're going to go ahead and again get Dirge here with his original Generations counterpart, and I think they look wonderful together. I think there is something striking about both jets. Again, I'm sorry I don't know the name of the jet, but Google can probably tell you that. Whoops. So sorry about that. This guy does lack some paint, which I kind of wish he had. Maybe there's going to be a Reaper label set, toy hacks, anything like that, to where maybe we can get some color on there. But I'm not super worried about it. I'm kind of digging the fact that I have one that has a little bit more detail, more neo-classics, and one that's more like G1 cartoon accurate. So that's always fun. And of course, here we have Ramjet in his jet mode, as well as his unfortunately loved-in condition counterpart from Classics. So here are these guys together. Again, they look fantastic. He's lacking some type of striping detail that the Classics one has. But again, I really like the idea of a Neo-Classics type of color scheme and this. And hopefully I can get this de-yellowed, because I still like this toy. But yeah, just look at that white. That's just, yeah, sorry, buddy. Both of these guys just have some really nice detail in their jet modes. The wings are really nice and gussied up here. There's not a lot of like actual paint in here, but the way it's embossed and everything, none of the detail was washed out with paint. It looks really good. The Decepticon logos look striking, and I really like the fact that he has the orange cockpit instead of the clear that we saw in some leaked test shots. Same thing over here with Ramjet. He's got some really fun detail in him. Nothing that's panel lined or anything. Again, that paint, it's a nice matte finish to it, so just really brings out all the detail. It's all flat, looks beautiful. The one thing that I will say is kind of unfortunate that I do prefer over the Classics mold is one small detail, but it's where the Classics one's boobs could fold out to be landing gear for the jet. This one does not have anything like that, which is okay. These ones have like blast effect parts, so I understand, but landing gear is always fun because I don't want to feel like I'm scruffing up the bottom of the jet. The other thing as well I want to mention here is on the transformation you saw with Dirge, I squeezed this portion of the jet to undo it. So when you do this here for the transformation, be sure that you're not putting pressure on this piece. I've seen reports of this piece right here cracking down the middle, cracking that part out of the chest. So you don't want to pull these out. You want to squeeze the teeth right here that hold that and lock that in place. So again, be sure to squeeze the teeth that hold it, not the bar that comes down and swings down that gets attached to it. And that's pretty much all I've got to say here about Dirge and Ramjet. I think they're a fantastic set. Again, I really hope they make them available for everybody. They are wonderful, and I'm really excited for when Thrust comes in. I'm curious to see how he matches up, his colors and everything, and especially to his Generations counterpart. So if you have any questions about these guys, maybe something I didn't cover in this video, please feel free to leave a comment in the section down below. I'd be happy to get back to that as soon as possible. Please like and subscribe if you enjoyed this content, and I'll see you guys later. Thanks for watching.